Hi again, everybody. Lary Sorensen here with F5 Sports, the manufacturers of the pitchLogic baseball. I went to the baseball winter meetings in San Diego last December and ran into Bud Black, the manager of the Colorado Rockies. Now, I didn't know Bud much except for having pitched against him for a number of years. But as I started explaining the pitchLogic ball to him, he turned to one of their public relations people and said, get him in touch with Steve Merriman. Well, Steve Merriman and I have known each other since about the early 2000s, and we recently had a chance to catch up and talk a little bit. Steve is the pitching coordinator for the Rockies. He basically handles the Major League AAA and AA teams, but also works with the lower levels as well. And we had a chance to talk about pitchLogic, as well as talk about how analytics are involved with today's game, and how these different technologies and different approaches can help not just the professional level guys, but also college all the way on down to the little league players, and how you can make yourself a better pitcher by using some of these different things. So here's my conversation with Steve Merriman, the pitching coordinator for the Colorado Rockies.
One of the fascinating things for me with pitchLogic is that I get a 30,000 foot view of a lot of organizations and watch how they work with it. Give us a little bit, without giving any away of your trade secrets, some of the things that you look for, and some of the things that you kind of try to do with the pitchLogic baseball.
Yeah, well, one of the things that pitchLogic I think has really helped us with is we have a fair number of guys who like to double tap in the glove, and the pitchLogic ball has helped us work with guys to prevent that from happening for them. Why we thought that was important with some of those guys is for a number of reasons. Tipping pitches, guys that tap tend to tip more often, but also it's a timing mechanism, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And some guys, that's a part of what they do, but for some guys it created a poor timing. And so we found that to be a pretty nice tool for us to utilize. But for some other things, I mean, our guys have really found that it gives them a connectivity individually to what they see for what they do. There are a lot of guys that don't necessarily understand what they're seeing, and that's coaches, players alike. Okay. Yeah. A big part of where I believe that pitchLogic has helped us is that the interface with the ball and what gets displayed either on a phone or an iPad or whatever you're using, it's a pretty easy format for people to understand and see. It's not intimidating. And we have found that a lot of our guys are growing in their knowledge of what they actually do. That helps a lot with teaching, because when we talk about developing what they do, there's some familiar ground that you can work from. And you have to do that as a coach. You've got to work from a common ground with a player, both intellectually, physically, and all of the things that go into coaching and teaching have to have a common ground to start from. And we've found that this really helps provide a good form of common ground for our guys and our coaches and a lot of our different people that get involved.
Well, and in fact, you guys, the Rockies organization in particular, were one of the leaders of players, pitchers taking it upon themselves in the off season. And when things got so jumbled up at the start of the year, a lot of your guys really jumped out and purchased the ball on their own and started working with it and were using it. Do you think that paid off for them?
Oh, I think no question. In a time like what we are going through still, and what we experienced back at the end of spring training in February, all the way through, there were a lot of opportunities for players to get better. There were a ton of value in the margins type thing. And we really hit home with a lot of guys about utilizing this time to find the opportunity to do a few things that you want to be able to try and do, that you maybe have thought about trying to do or learn about. And our guys, I would say, Larry, we probably have upwards of 30 plus guys out of about 90 that didn't have access to some other tool, and pitchLogic provided them with a tremendous access to some of those tools. And so those guys have been utilizing it. And we've got that from our major league club all the way down. I'm on Zoom calls with some of our lower level guys that have pitched only in A ball or only in short season rookie ball. But I'm also on Zoom calls with some of our major league guys that are adapting some of the things they get in the technology to what we do physically, and pitch development and creation of an ability to throw to a location has really been a benefit for us.